Hello there. So welcome back. This is going to be the part 2 of just comparing day blades and how they filter light in an RGB saber. I've just uploaded the part 1 that was comparing a photon blade. I'll put a link to that in the description. But today I want to show you how light is filtered through a blue day blade. And I just have a small piece of blue day blade here, as well as a red day blade. Now both of these are thick-walled, which means that there's more material for the light to go through. So there's going to be quite a significant difference there. You'll notice that on camera. Thin-walled day blades probably won't have as much of an effect, but let's take a look. Now the saber I'm using is from the POC store, and it has two LEDs. There's an LED here going through this trans-white blade, and then another LED, and this will change to the same color. So we've got blue, and if you see on there, that's going to be blue. So I'm going to go ahead and shut off the light here so that we can see the colors better. So we'll start with the blue. Obviously, blue is going to come through blue just fine, but let's take a look at the red. Now, even though this is blue, it's really interesting that it's coming off as red on camera. And there's a little bit of light, but if you notice, it's dramatically darker. You're not going to get to see that because, and this is going to be a repeating theme with this, but the red is going to block a lot of light. If you're interested in a red day blade, then you're really limiting yourself to just red. And that's fine, But let's go to our next color. Which is red. Now what's interesting is, of course, red will go through red just fine. Now blue is a little different because even though you just saw that the red blocked the blue light really severely, that doesn't happen as much with blue. These two, even though this is a little bit darker because it's thicker, the brightness is not too terribly bad. And the main reason for that is that blue is on this end of the spectrum, and then you have towards your greens, your yellows, and then red is on this side of the spectrum. So really, think of it as going down in energy. So blue is higher energy, red is I can't remember if it's a shorter or a longer wavelength. If it's a shorter wavelength, but red just blocks out everything that's in that direction of the spectrum. So there's about 16 different colors on this. I'm actually not going to go through all of them. I just wanted to hit, a couple of those big hitters, to see what red looks like, what blue looks like. Let's take a look at purple and green are the other two that I really want to focus on. So let's get to a purple. There we go. So this is kind of a more magenta. So this particular color is edged a little bit more towards red. So with purple mixes in an RGB saber, you're always mixing blue and red light. Like I said, this one's probably got both blue and red at max power, and it comes off a little pinky. So let's take a look at what happens when you put a red blade in there. So what's cool about that is that with a purple blade, it blocks out all the blue light, and all the red light is what comes through. And the same happens if you take the blue. Now, this is even kind of neat because some of the red light still comes through, so this actually does look purple, but it is a lot more towards indigo. You can really see that on R2 here. So let's take a look at our actual indigo. So let's move towards that. Actually, let's take a look at green first, since that's what we got to. So green in the trans white. Green comes through just fine with blue. Again, that's because blue is on this side of the wavelength, so everything that direction is going to come through blue, and green is right in the middle. So, but red, on the other hand, just like our blue, red is really going to block out that light. So you can't even see, there's not even that white coring effect that this has because this is so dark. Now, one of the things that you're seeing when it flashes like that, that's the flash on flash, which is white on this saber. So that's why it does come off like that, because it's white light, which has red in it, so you still see some of that. So let's keep going to our lavender. So this is actually a yellow, or it comes off as white. So yellow is a mix of green and red light. So you're going to see red just fine with the yellow blade. There we go. So this is our lavender, which is a little bit more blue than that magenta that we had earlier. Or I say lavender, it's lavender indigo. The point is that it has a little bit more blue light than red light. But it does have red light, so even though the red day blade is blocking that blue light, still a pretty cool effect. And then our blue. And because this particular mix has more blue in it and less red, this is a much more definitive blue than we were looking at before. You know, before when we had the magenta, this blade was pretty much indigo. Now this is the indigo, so. And with that, we are actually back to blue. So just a recap, you know, if you're gonna get a red or blue day blade, just be aware of how it affects the color that you're in. Blue day blades are pretty safe for just about all colors, although they do kind of block out a little bit of the light and edge things a little bit more towards blue. But red is almost always going to block out every other color that's not red. Certain things will come through, like yellow will come through, but it'll come through as red because it filters out the green light. Same with purple. It pretty much filters out any of the blue light and comes out as red. And interesting is you can even see right here in the reflective tip, you can see that blue still coming through because this is a blue light. So, but I hope you guys enjoy, and I hope that was informative. And as always, may the force be with you.